The Phillies 2-game sweep the St. Louis Cardinals. We're going to break it down and talk all about it right here on the Century Baseball Podcast. Today we're on both the YouTube side and the podcast sides. We're recapping every playoff series that happens. We're also live streaming a ton of playoff games, so make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned for that. Follow us if you're on the podcast side of things, and thank you guys for joining us today. Wild series, Phillies take it from the Cardinals 2-0, the 6 over the 3. Huge day for Phillies fans, and we're going to break it down. So we're going to get right into it, starting off in Game 1, where the Phillies come back, all the way back 2-0. They were down, lifeless game. They come back with 6 in the 9th. We'll get to that. But Wheeler, he shoves 6.1 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 4 Ks. Quintana almost matched him. 5.1, 2 hits, no runs, 3 Ks for him. And then the bullpen kind of blundered it there. Oli Marmol did not really manage his bullpen to the best of his ability. He left Helsley in for way too long, way longer than he should, and that led to a 6-run 9th inning. Gallegos had a clean inning. Then Helsley, who's been their most dominant reliever this year probably, he sells the game for them. Juan Yepez had a 2-run homer at one point in this game, and it looked like that was going to be the end of it. Phillies, they rally back. Eflin, he allows 1 run, but he ends up closing it out for the Phils. 6-run 9th inning. That's really, really, really big for them. And yeah, the Cardinals bullpen kind of sold that game quite a bit. Moving on to Game 2, Aaron Nola absolutely shoves. He shoved for the Phillies on Monday night when he clinched them a playoff spot in Houston. He shoves again tonight. 6.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 6 Ks for him. And I watched every bit of this game. I watched every bit of both games, but this one especially, I was live streaming it, doing I kept the score and everything. I did a scorecard. But I mean, he just shoved. He was absolutely disgusting. He was freezing guys with his breaking ball, which I feel like that was an element of his game that left him this year, is that he was not incorporating the knuckle curve as much. He was really trying to rely heavily on that sinker. And that's why his home run numbers are climbing and climbing and climbing. Is that sinker he's starting to use it a lot more. And I know it's disgusting. It runs back from inside to lefties, and it looks like it's going to be outside to righties and scrapes that outside corner. So overall, Nola absolutely shoves. Michaelis on the other side, 4.1, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts in this one. They go Montgomery to try to save their season. They piggyback Montgomery off of him. Montgomery was fine. His line, 2.2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 Ks, which is pretty solid. 11 batters faced in total for Montgomery. But Bryce Harper, 2nd inning, he has a home run of his own. We're going to play it for you right now.
And took the walk. Allen driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run for Harper. It is 1-0 Phillies.
That would be the decider in this game. The solo home run by Bryce Harper. Phillies would tack on another one later on Kyle Schwarber's sacrifice fly. And a guy who probably is the MVP of this game, Alec Boehm. He makes 3 just incredible plays at third base. I'm going to play one of them for you right now.
Line drive. Oh, what a play by Boehm.
Besides that, he goes 1 for 2. He walks twice, I believe. Let me check that one more time. Boehm. Yes, so he walks twice. He got intentionally walked once, and he walked a second time. He also had a double in this one, a ground rule double. There are a couple of ground rule doubles in this game. I think one by Marsh as well. So, overall, humongous Phillies W here. The Pujols, Molina, Wainwright era, it's come to an end. Really sad to see them go. Pujols and Molina both end their careers more than likely on base hits for them, which is always great. But as much as I love that the Phillies won, it is a little bit sad to see the Cardinals go because they had the old magic, Pujols, Molina, everybody like that. But overall, very strong Phillies win. They are now going to be going to face the Braves. And what do I think they need to do? So they're probably going to go Ranger Suarez for Game 1 on this one on Tuesday. Game 2 you really have some tough decisions to make because you could go Wheeler Nola on 4 days rest, but the only problem with that is that you go Nola, who threw 100 pitches 2 times in a row, both on 4 days rest. So I don't know if you want to give him back-to-back starts on 4 days. What I think you probably end up doing for that game is you go Suarez game 1. Game 2, I would go Syndergaard. And if Syndergaard can't get it done, I would take either Falter or Gibson, try to piggyback him, just because, Syndergaard has been in the postseason before. Gibson, I don't believe Gibson's played postseason ball before, but he's a veteran, a leader in the pitching staff, and he could definitely piggyback off Syndergaard, or vice versa if you need to. Syndergaard probably has more experience coming out of the pen in the postseason, so that could definitely be a factor. Falter's a young guy, but he has been good in that role of piggybacking off of guys for a few innings if he really needs to. So you got options. And then I say game 3, you go to Wheeler. Game 4, you can go to Nola. For Wheeler Nola for the home games the Phillies would have in this series if they can get there. So that's what I would do if I were them. And as far as the lineup goes, there's some minor tweaks that I think I would make if I were the Phillies with their lineup. I would slide Bohm up to the 2 spot, and as much as I love Rhys Hoskins, my favorite player, I think he needs to be moved down the lineup a little bit. He needs to be more in an RBI spot. That's kind of what he does. Big doubles guy. So Schwarber, he can be the leadoff still. I mean, it's not great to start to lead off the game on either a homer like 1 out of 20 times or a strikeout. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Schwarber in the leadoff spot, even though he's comfortable there. He likes it there. Whatever. I say Bohm goes 2. I love Realmuto at 3. I think that's a great addition. Harper at 4 is fine for me. Cleanup, completely fine. 5, it depends. 5 might be the spot where you want Hoskins to go, especially with Castellanos' struggles throughout the whole entire season. So maybe you go Hoskins 5. Okay, great. 6, probably Castellanos. 7, it depends. Once again, it depends. 7, I probably am going to go Marsh. Or center fielder, Vierling or Marsh, it depends. Righty, lefty. So the center fielder goes 7. 8, I'm going to go with Gene Segura. And then 9, I'm going to go Bryson Stott. Just because I feel like having a leadoff caliber guy like Bryson Stott or even Gene Segura at the bottom of the lineup helps like that second leadoff. I like the decision of having a leadoff type guy in the 9. It's like what the Cardinals have with Tommy Edman. So that's the only things I would change if I were the Phillies. Love Eflin closing it out for them as well. Alvarado, I think it's good that they're relying on him because he is their power guy. He's now got some experience. I think it was great that Sir Anthony Dominguez ended up getting some experience yesterday as well. So that was great for the Phillies. But again, Wheeler and Nola, they were the stars of the show. Harper, great that he got that homer. For the Cardinals now, though, where they go from here is a really, really interesting discussion because they're going to be down a catcher. Because Molina's going to be gone. Their infield's fine. That's obvious. Goldschmidt, probably Brendan Donovan. It depends. You put whoever you want. Brendan Donovan, Nolan Gorman, second base. Edmund, shortstop. Arenado, third base. Your infield is absolutely unbelievable. Outfield, you're probably still fine. Nootbaar, Carlson are 2 very, very good young outfielders. Dickerson, I don't think they're going to want to keep him around just because he was pretty mediocre. I think they definitely think that they can get better production there. Maybe you even keep Juan Yepez out there, and he can slide into first base as well. But they're going to need to go out and buy a catcher. That's definitely has to be on their radar. Contreras is going to be coming into free agency. I predicted that he'd be traded there. So that's an option. It's Contreras and free agency, or even just anybody. The era of Travis d'Arnaud might be coming to an end in Atlanta because William Contreras. So maybe that's someone they could go after in a trade. It's like a Travis d'Arnaud because he's on the older side of things. But if they're not able to get Contreras, if he's asking for too much, then a d'Arnaud is a very, very respectable replacement temporarily. But that's really all I see. Their pitching rotation to me is completely fine if they can keep Quintana, who I think has 1 more year. Montgomery, I believe, has 1 more year. So you go Flaherty's probably going to be your number 1 now. So you do need another starting pitcher. The bottom line is you need another starting pitcher. Flaherty, Quintana, Montgomery, Michaelis, Steven Matz. I don't know. Do they need another starting pitcher? It's a really great discussion because, yeah, Matz was injured, but is he coming back? So, regardless, needless to say, Cardinals have a very interesting offseason coming up. That's the things I have to say about them. With that being said, that's going to do it for today's recap. Thank you guys for watching or listening. We will see you guys in the next one where we are recapping the Mariners Blue Jays. And after that, we'll recap the Mets and the Padres. That game is going to be tonight. So, peace out. Have a blessed one.